Hey, what's up? Welcome back. It's Timo with Timo Paints, and today I'm going to tell you guys the one thing you should never ever skip before painting your baseboards. And this step is crucial. It's sanding. You got to sand the stuff down, not only for looks, but also for adhesion. You want to make sure that it's going to get the proper bond to the surface. So I like to start off with like a 120 if there's a heavy caulking buildup or anything on there, because you want to have a fine finish, especially on your trim. Now, if you're charging the customer a high premium, like a house like this is a very nice house, and it's not like a rental property or anything. I want to give them the best possible finish for the price. And which brings me to this. If you guys are curious how I price my jobs, I have the Paint Biz cheat code. It has an estimating sheet and an estimating guide in it, and I'll leave it linked in the description. It'll be a pinned comment too. So sanding down is important. I like to use a 120 to knock down and cut through any kind of like boogers, any kind of buildup, especially like caulking buildup. Sometimes you'll get these carpenters who do the caulking, and they don't really keep in mind that you're trying to go for a fine finish, so they just kind of glop it on there. So I'll use a 120 to knock stuff like that down, but before I'll go and paint it, I always smooth everything down with a 220. So I carry 120 with me, or like a 150 would totally be good too. Knock everything down with like a 150, grab the 220, and then you'll smooth it out with the 220. Now, after you go through and you sand everything down, it makes it look cleaner already. Now, you'll have little dark spots here and there. And the thing about sanding it down is it'll almost help you. It helps to cover too, because when you have all those black spots, you're going to have to go over it multiple times. And the majority of the baseboard is already white. So it's not like you would have to do it again. But since you got like these black spots, but you can sand them down. A lot of times it's from like a vacuum or a Swiffer jet or something like that. But you just sand it down. And then once you get everything sanded down, you knock the gloss down, you got it all roughed up, ready for the new coat of paint. You got to make sure that you dust it. So go through with an old dusting brush, dust all the paint loose. And as you're going through, make sure you do your window sills too. Once you do this and you have everything sanded down and clean, I like to come through and I caulk in my corners. Wherever the trim meets the walls, there typically will be like a small hairline crack, sometimes a bigger crack, sometimes a really bad caulking job. And oftentimes I'll run into where they have used silicone. And sometimes it's unpaintable silicone. It'll be like a clear. So what you do in that case is you dig it out with a knife. But the main thing is just make sure you guys sand it. Make sure you get it sanded, because that's how you want to do. You want to do a good job. You want the finest, most high quality finish that you can achieve. That way you guys can charge more. You charge a premium price to get out there. You put in a good amount of work. You make it look better than it did when you showed up, because that's the whole point, right? It's a satisfaction guaranteed type of thing. So anyways, I know it's a pretty simple step, but it's pretty important to make sure you sand down your base, any kind of molding, even the walls, but really the base. Pay special attention to the base, and make sure you got a podcast to listen to. That's what I'm doing here. So don't forget, if you guys are interested in how I price my jobs and how I get my leads and how I've built the business, I've created a small course with the Paint Biz cheat code, and I'll leave it in the description below and the pinned comment. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.